Okay. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this is one of the prettiest boards that has come through, oh God, it's stuck in here. That has come through my, my door for a number of reasons. And I'm gonna show you guys right now why I think this. Here we go. Here's the board. Look at this. Look at this board. This is the Heracles. We're not building this today. We're building this next weekend. Here's the other really fun part of this board as well. So on top of it having this like absolutely stunning, you know, thing on the top here. I love this, by the way. All right, check this out now. Here's the side profile, which I think is really pretty. FYI, I really do like that. Here's the back. All right, here's the bottom of it. Dude, this is legitimately so fucking pretty, dude. Super, super awesome looking. Like, look at that. Look at this, guys. Look how like this kind of just is just so pretty. By the way, the box for this is amazing. I think this is absolutely a stunning looking box. So you take it apart and you're greeted with this. I think this is really pretty. Really, really pretty, by the way. Very pretty box. I love the layout inside here. I think this is like, you open this and it feels very classy. I like that. It kind of just comes out like this. Very aggressive curves on the bottom, which I kind of like too. So we'll open this all up. I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm big into 60s, so this is definitely in my range of what I like. But it's very well packed. So here we also have a plate, a bunch of really pretty packaging that I'll eventually throw away and litter the earth with. You're not wrong, but at the same time, I would like to see some sort of alternative for packaging in the future without using the need of like this kind of dense foam inside. On the flip side, I also think receiving a whole crap ton of boxes, like what's it called? The, why am I struggling with this? Receiving a crap ton of like travel cases is also kind of cumbersome as well. I don't, like personally, I don't need any more. I think one or two is fine, you know, and then every keyboard afterwards is just kind of like, why? All right, and then we also have a screwdriver. This was an interesting addition here too. Man, these are tight in here. This is it's all foaming dusty, a Stanley screwdriver. It's kind of nice. It's a good quality screwdriver, it looks like anyways. Is this O-ring mounted? I believe this is just gasket mounted, is it not? We have the Arc tools here, which we'll open up here in a second. I prefer the nice packaging. To each their own, everyone's gonna be a little different, but I would like to see some more of like alternative stuff in the future that's a little bit more like, you know, friendly to the environment, obviously. All right, so we do have our PCB gaskets here. So those are, I don't think we're gonna be doing it plateless today. I think everyone else who has built this board has built it plateless at this point here. Alignment pins, bump-ons, which we'll probably put on right away, and the plate gaskets. Actually, I like how they give you some advice here. A fixed foam to plate instead of case for easier switching. I like that. Here's the hot swap PCB, which we'll open up here in a second. And then we have the solder bowl PCB. Which, by the way, I've heard a lot of people say that this is an amazing board plateless. We're gonna build it with a plate today, just to do some variety. I will do a plate, like a plateless build soon. Or maybe today, we don't know. Oh, interesting. How loud are cream pluses with copper? We'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna talk about those. And here's the other PCB here, guys. Plateless, or sorry, this is the non-plateless version. So we're gonna do the hot swap variation. So if you notice, this does not have the plateless tabs on it. Obviously, because you probably shouldn't build this plateless and hot swap. We don't really have a huge amount of variations here, but it does look like you have a split left shift, which is kind of nice. Actually, there is some. We have a fixed bottom row here because it's win keyless. And then we have a step caps and regular caps, as well as a split backspace. And is that a split right shift? It is a split right shift. So there is some variation you can do here. actually not terrible. And then we have the daughter board, which is sitting right here, which fell out of the case from earlier, but daughter board. The daughter board it doesn't look like it's universal because I think the JST connector's on the left side of this. So unfortunately, this is not a universal one. I mean, it might actually be a universal one, they just moved things around, but it obviously needs to be on that side. The daughter board's already installed here. Interesting. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this. It looks like they kind of secured down some of the cables with a screw, which is also, is that double length or something? Actually, no, it's not. Very interesting. I've never seen that before. And then we have the bottom. I really like the aggressive curves on this. I think this looks really pretty. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Really nice. Very nice side profile depending on how the light catches this as well. So actually a pretty decent looking side profile. Recessed USB-C port, which is nice. The logo's not too aggressive either. The side curve is the same as the logo. Oh, that's interesting actually. Yeah, I never even noticed that. Okay, now we're gonna quickly talk about, well, maybe not quickly, but maybe at length until we get to the installation spot. Cream Plus switches. I use the copper inserts for these. I tried all three. I actually have two other ones that I've done with the silicone and the titanium. Not a full batch, but just one of each switch, which we can play around with the hot swap, seeing what each sounds like in the Arc60 here. The titanium isn't bad, but I think it's the least exciting out of all three. It tends, I mean, the titanium one has a bit of a deeper sound profile, I've noticed, which could be your cup of tea. The silicone one was actually kind of fun, and I wouldn't mind doing a full build with the silicone inserts. It doesn't have a bottom out noise, but it still has the upstroke noise, which is kind of cool of when the top of the stem impacts the top of the housing. The copper, though, has this really nice, like, almost metallic undertone, but it's not a bad metallic undertone. And it's nice and loud. And I think this is gonna be the nicest out of all three. I mean, like, I don't know because I haven't installed them all yet. But in terms of how the switch feels, let me put this out there right now. This does not feel like a cream switch. It's not scratchy. I did a very, very light coat of lube. It is not scratchy. It feels good. Even without the insert in, it does not resemble a cream switch at all. I actually don't know the full material of this, and I don't want to lie to you guys, so I don't know the full material list. But it is nice. I really do like the way this feels. The springs are pretty good inside these. I would still probably swap these out because there was one or two springs in my batch here that I really did not like. They just felt bad, so I ended up moving those to the side. But very, very interesting. Installation of these, not that difficult either. I actually thought this was gonna be insanely tough, putting in those little inserts into the stem. Not hard at all. Actually pretty awesome. These, for anyone who's wondering and is gonna watch this back, the inserts do not work with other switches. They do not have the right insert inside the stem, so obviously you can't use them. So you do need the Cream Plus switches. But overall, pretty good. They do not need to be filmed. I'll tell you guys right now, the tolerances on these are absolutely fine. I bought them with copper inserts. What springs would you suggest? Any spring that you like. So if you like yourself a 55 gram spring, grab yourself 55 gram. Whatever spring you're into. I personally like 55 to 62 grams. That's my sweet spot. But lately I've been kind of this is really weird, but lately I've been kind of using 72. I think it's because these are a little bit heavier, and now I'm just kind of used to the heavier stuff, but I still much prefer the feeling of lighter switches. Does inserting the materials make it travel less? Yes, there is a bit of a travel distance change when you do so. I also want to point this out, just so everyone's aware. I also do work for NovelKeys and with NovelKeys, so if you guys don't trust me, then don't fucking listen to me. There's no feelings being hurt here. But I will be giving you guys my honest opinion. Like I said, I think the titanium ones are the most boring to me. How's the leaf ping? There's no leaf ping, which is nice. To be away, let's start putting in our Cream Plus switches and see how this all feels and sounds. Do we want foam? Do we want mid-plate foam? There is no flex cuts. No flex cuts on this beautiful PCB. So I don't know if we want to put foam. I don't think we should. Maybe bottom foam at the very least. Maybe. All right, we have inserted them all. These new hot swap sockets are interesting. They're so sharp now. They have these like metal coverings on the top of them now. This is such a minor thing that I'm gonna bring up, but they're so sharp. Oh, it's magnetized too? Wow. All right, let's do no foam first. Very, very easy to assemble, and then, all right, let's screw these back together. Very interesting switches. Just skim through Theremin's review about the Switch and their different inserts. Yes, I will give you guys a huge breakdown on what I think about the different inserts too. But there are definitely a lot of things to like. I will say, again, I think silicone was really fun, and I want to get another batch of these switches just to try the silicone inserts. The copper seems to be the brightest sounding of all of them. By bright, I mean loudest. While titanium feels more like a regular switch, just with a slight metal undertone. But copper definitely seems to be the most exciting sound profile. You guys want this? Piga, whatever it's called. Actually, this is a nice set. Good call on making me not go with 8008. This is actually a very nice set with this. Let's take a look at the board really quick. All right, so here's the keyboard. I love the side profile. I think this is super pretty. Well, I don't know what you guys think about the side profile here. I think this looks great. This is the Arc60. It's the newest keyboard from Vertex. They sent this out to take a look at. Here is the bottom of the board. I do think this looks really, really classy looking. Like, I truly do. We're using no foam. We're using hot swap with an aluminum plate. I really like all the curves in this. The anode is fantastic quality. Build very, very easy to assemble, like extremely easy. Not a whole lot of stuff going on with this. It does have an option to do plateless as well, which requires different gaskets, which we will do another day. We are using Cream Plus switches with the copper inserts. All right. I will even, if you guys want to hear some of the other space bars with the other inserts, we can try those as well. I do have two switches already pre-prepared. The silicone one is so interesting. Listen to this. Versus the titanium. It's such an interesting sound from the silicone. But let's see what this sounds like. There's no foam in this at all, so let's give this a go. Cream Plus switches with copper. All right. Yeah, dude, that actually sounds like, it still sounds super clean, but I can definitely tell they're a little bit louder. Hold on, let me swap this out, and then we'll also try some comparisons to properly kind of feel out these switches and even the keyboard. First thing we're gonna do is let's listen to the spacebar. I do want to try the spacebar with the silicone. All right. Let's try the silicone insert now for the spacebar. That's so different. There's no downstroke. I don't think it's ill. I think it's different. And I think that's so interesting. It's like a semi-silent, because you can still hear the upstroke on that. That's it doesn't feel mushy. It does not feel mushy one bit. You know, I understand people are gonna say it sounds ill. I already had a feeling people wouldn't like this. but I kind of like it. And now let's try the titanium. Very similar to the copper IMO once you put keycaps and put it in a board. It might be a little bit deeper. I feel like it kind of is. But let's use a, just so you guys can have the full experience. I kind of like copper a little bit more. Let me try copper one more time with the GMK spacebar. Yeah, I like this more. This is definitely a bit brighter. Do you guys hear that? I definitely do. And I can hear a little bit. I don't know if it's picking up on the mic properly, but I can definitely hear a slight, like the tiniest bit of that metallic-y sound more so with the copper, and I kind of enjoy that. I think this is a long pull switch. It feels like it. So let's try a regular switch now. And that's actually much brighter than the copper in a more plasticky way. Interesting. This definitely had a little bit more bass to it, the copper insert. Yeah, this definitely has a bit more of a plasticky sound, which is not bad, by the way. All right, we'll use a GAT cap switch. These are lubed as well. These are all modded. Let's use a Nixie switch, shall we? Much quieter. Not a bad sound profile, but just lick the board, don't be a prude. Okay, guys. Here, we'll do the J key. Why is J all the way down? Oh no, J is supposed to be down. That's stupid. All right, let me try the J key. Actually, let me try it with this. Here. That's copper. This is the silicone we're gonna put in now. That's so interesting. Look at the hear the downstroke of the silicone. Versus the copper. It doesn't feel mushy though, guys. I'm telling you, it does not feel mushy at all. Like, it's definitely not as firm as the metal ones, but it's not mushy either. And this is the titanium one. Versus copper. Copper. Titanium. Copper. Silicone. Very big differences inside the keyboard. Huge differences. All right, modding process time. All I do is open it up. All right, there's gonna be a little hole on the bottom of the switch. Again, I don't know if you guys can clearly see it. There's a good spot of it right there. That's the hole for it. But the insert basically just goes insert into the stem, and then you push down. And that's the way they look. And then you guys will see the stem on that. So same goes with the silicone and same goes with the titanium. Now, do these fit into other housings? Let's find out. I actually don't know. I'm assuming they do. I'm actually curious to see what they would sound like in maybe this housing. I'm not gonna lube it right now, but. Oh yeah, they do. This is the stem in a cherry Nixie. Wait, that actually sounds so good in the Nixie. Wait, I'm actually curious. I didn't even lube this. There's some residual lube on this already. I am very curious to see what this sounds like on the spacebar. That's so different, dude. It's definitely not as bright as the other Switch, but like that's so wild, that's so different. But take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your days, and love you. Peace out, everyone. And